everyone, welcome back. Today, Skippy and I are here to do a review of Origin by Jessica Khoury. This is an ARC copy. The book's already been released in September of this year by Razorbill. And I guess little one's getting restless. Are you restless? You went down? Oh, you want to say bye? Okay. Let me put her down. There you go. There you go, buddy. Okay. To begin with, I'm going to read the back of the book for you here. Pia has grown up in a secret compound hidden deep in the Amazon rainforest. She was raised by a team of scientists who bred her to be the first of a new immortal race. Now those scientists have begun to challenge her with the goal of training her to carry on their dangerous work. On the night of her 17th birthday, Pia stumbles across a hole in the electric fence that surrounds her sterile home. Free in the jungle for the first time, Pia meets Io, a boy from a nearby village. Unable to resist, she continues sneaking out to see him. As they fall in love, they begin to piece together the truth about Pia's origin, a truth with nothing less than deadly consequences that will change their lives forever. So yeah, that's Origin, and so as it describes Pia, she's living in this kind of scientific compound surrounded by an electric fence, and it's run by quite a few scientists. Paolo, or she refers to him as Uncle Paolo, is the man in charge of the scientific research, or the Immortus team as it's known. And she refers to all the scientists as either aunt or uncle, and that did make the book a little bit confusing as to is she truly related or who she's referring to. So it got a little bit congested with aunts and uncles, I think. But yeah, Uncle Paolo's kind of an interesting character. He keeps it very strict, like he says, very sterile. Pia's not exposed to anything from the outside world. She knows nothing of the outside world. There's no books, magazines, TV, radio, music. Nothing is allowed in, and the scientists are not supposed to reveal anything outside. But this is the life she's grown up in. She's born and raised on this particular compound in this rainforest. And in fact, she doesn't even know it's an Amazonian rainforest until one particular scientist, who she later refers to as Aunt Harriet, happens to sneak in a map and gives it to Pia on her 17th birthday. And this is where she just discovers where her particular compound is located and learns about the surrounding area. On that birthday, she gets a little restless and happens to notice the hole in the fence. A tree is uprooted nearby and kind of pulled the bottom of the fence up, leaving a gap underneath but not having broken the sensors for the electrical fence, so it hasn't triggered any alarms. So she takes that opportunity to sneak out and kind of explore her surroundings, and that's where she meets the boy Io. She starts to visit him more regularly as she's able to sneak out while this hole is still undiscovered, and comes to learn of the village where he lives, meets other children for the first time. She's never seen another child. She's the only young person on the entire base, and sees what real family life is like and stuff. And she starts to become a little bit torn between where her future may lie. I mean, she sees what a different kind of life she could be leading, but yet she's also still truly focused on what she's been trained to her whole life. And she's always dreamed of one day taking over Uncle Paolo's position and being the leader of the Immortus team. And, one day creating a race of immortal humans, perhaps a mate for herself as well. And so I'd say a majority of the book is her, you're learning about her surroundings, the base, the people in the village. It's a bit slow going. I found myself putting the book down a few times. The writing style wasn't bad, but there wasn't a lot of action or anything going on. I felt it dragged a little bit because of that. But then you get to maybe about a third left or so of the book to go, and things start to pick up. She knows some of how she became immortal. There is a specific flower called Elysia. It's actually quite deadly, but when mixed with another catalyst, it creates this immortality serum, which doesn't take effect immediately. It's not something you can just inject yourself and you're immortal. It takes a course of doses through like 5 generations. She's like the 5th generation born before you get an immortal person. But she's never been told what this catalyst is or anything like that. And it's quite shocking when she is told or learns the information. And it was very shocking for me as the reader. Like I said, that's where the book really picks up pace and just speeds off to the end. So I did kind of knock down a few stars, perhaps because of the pacing in the beginning of the book. I also had a few other issues with the whole immortality aspect of the book. I never quite understood what the purpose of this particular project was, why are they creating a race of immortals? What was the need to do so? To do something like that, if you'd end up overpopulating the earth, as if it's not overpopulated as it is, if no one ever dies. If you have just a race of immortals, you'd have to stop having children at a certain point. Even she knows that would be something that wouldn't be the case. You'd have to stop any new births, or, where would anybody live? There would be not enough resources and things to support that kind of a population. So I didn't understand the purpose behind the project. So that I had a little trouble with. And then the whole way the immortality works in this book, I was a little troubled because it's not, like I said, not like she's injected as a 17-year-old and she's never going to age any further. She'll be immortal from that point on. We know she was a child. She grew up. She has aged to age 17. When does that aging stop? When does her body stop changing in terms of being an immortal? When do you reach that point? And I had trouble understanding that. It's not explained like, oh, her body will stop changing after a certain point and she'll remain that age that age for the rest of her life. So that aspect of the book, I kept trying to think in my head how that concept would work, and I guess I just had to suspend belief beyond, the obvious here, but as to, just assuming that maybe when she reaches her 20s or so or whatever, that she would just stop aging, not like continually degrading in your body, but you'll never actually die. But like I said, I think it's an intriguing concept if you can get beyond that point. And like I said, the pacing at the end of the book does pick up and stuff. So even though it was slow, I definitely enjoyed the ending. It is a conclusion to it, so I don't see any continuation or trilogy or anything like that. I believe it is a standalone book. This is her debut novel, and I think I will read anything else that she writes. I did enjoy the writing style of it, like I said. So overall, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Like I said, knocked it down a little bit for the pacing of it, and a little bit for the concept of the immortality part, which I didn't quite understand the reasoning behind it, but definitely an enjoyable read, so I would recommend picking it up if you get a chance. So thanks for watching. Have a good time. Bye.